Yo, what's going on guys, it is Tom and welcome back to a brand new video and episode number 16 of my F1 2016 career mode. Now, before we jump into the video guys, I do owe you a little bit of an apology, and that is because there's been a little bit of a lack of uploads recently, and also another apology for this race because as you can see we're directly into qualifying and there's no practice sequence, and the reason is I accidentally deleted the footage from our practice session, and I record practice on another day and then do qualifying and the race all together. So I accidentally deleted the qualifying footage, sorry, the practice footage, so there'll be no practice session in this video and just qualifying. Now as you can see we're in Q1 at the moment, and so far things are looking good. We go for 2 laps on a single run on soft tyres, and we managed to put in a pretty decent lap there to get us into P10 and get us comfortably through into the second half of qualifying into Q2. So overall, not too bad there for Q1. We do have the new engine upgrade this race, guys, because if you remember the last episode in Singapore, we decided to buy yet another engine upgrade. So the upgrade has been fitted to the car for this race, so we should have a little bit of an improvement in a straight line. But as you can see, now in Q2, I'm doing my one and only lap in Q2, and it's good enough for P2, and quite easily getting ourselves into Q3. And the amount of 2s I've just said in that one sentence is absolutely unbelievable. But as you can see, we qualify quite comfortably into Q3, and that's the main part of the session. So we're going to jump into Q3 now, and hopefully we can try and get ourselves a good lap and try and get ourselves quite high up the grid. So as you can see now, the session's about to come to an end. We're going through the final corner on our one and only lap in Q3. As we go out the final corner, open up the DRS as we run up to the line, and what's the lap going to be? A 35, so not a great lap. A 35.2, not a great lap at all, only good enough for P5. So a really poor lap there, I've got to say. I was quite shocked at the time, and look at that, 8 tenths off the pace with Verstappen on pole and my teammate Raikkonen and my brand new rival Lewis Hamilton also beating me. So a very poor qualifying session there, and overall I just struggled for pace both in practice and qualifying. So hopefully we can try and overturn this negative sort of pace and just negative way the car's feeling at the moment into a positive thing, because as you can see we've got a wet race on our hands. You normally know what this means on F1 2016. It means an opportunity to try and have a good race. So I'm not going to babble on for any longer, and we're going to jump right into the Malaysian Grand Prix, and let's see if we can try and get some more points on the board to get close to the World Drivers' Championship. So here we are then for the race, and it's a very wet Malaysia, and as you can see we've got the full wet tyres on the car, and it's going to be a very interesting race. It's going to go wet to dry, so obviously we've got to try and keep an eye out for the key points of the race, which will be going on to intermediates and then later on going on to dry tyres. So fingers crossed we can try and get the strategy gambles correctly, because we've qualified quite poorly down in P7, so we need to try and get a positive result in the race to try and overturn a very poor Saturday. So overall I'm looking forward to this race, and fingers crossed we can try and get the result that we need and try and extend our championship lead. So without further ado, let's jump right into the race. Right, here we go then. We're going to gear up to the 5 red lights for the Malaysian Grand Prix, and let's try and get a good start here as we get underway. And Grosjean's already had a great launch. You can see off the line he just shot off absolutely perfectly. I'm trying to pick up some traction on these full wets. I haven't done a manual start in this game in full conditions, I don't think, for a long time. But here we go then, making our way into the first corner for the first time. Going to take it very cautiously. Going to stick my nose in, but it looks like there's nothing happening at the moment. It's basically 2 Mercedes and then 2 Red Bulls, and then Grosjean's got past Kimi Raikkonen. I'm just going to go around the outside of my teammate here. Can we make it work here? We're going to try and pick up some traction on the exit. We're being held up by Grosjean quite a bit, who's quite slow to pick up the power, but we are on the way, and we're now up into P6, getting past our teammate Grosjean. Sorry, Raikkonen having a terrible start, and we're now going up the inside of Grosjean into turn 4, I think this is, and we're going to get the move up the inside, and there we go, up into P5. So a pretty solid start to this race as I'm squirming all over to try and find some grip on these full wets. Now, we all know that AI aren't particularly great in this game in the wet conditions, and so far that's proving my point as we're all over the back of Verstappen. I've done me to the left hand side and then go to the right. We're going to try and hang one around the outside of Verstappen into the final corner. I'm going to go in nice and deep on purpose on the brakes to try and find some traction on the outside and then try and swing it past Verstappen, but Verstappen does well, but I'll switch back on him, a little bit of a snappy rear end, but we've got the traction down, and it's going to be a drag race between myself and Verstappen into the first corner. I'm going to try and squeeze him a little bit to the inside just to let him know that I'm still there, and we're now going to try and outbrake him into the first corner. I'm running awfully deep, locking up the right front, and Verstappen's going to go back up my inside, and he's actually made the move stick for now, but I've got the better line into turn 2, and now we should be able to hold on to this just about. I'm going to squeeze him out, and I've actually lost the rear end a little bit. He's going to pick up some traction on the inside, so still going side by side here. Verstappen running me out as wide as he can, but eventually he holds on. But I'm going to try and not let this go just yet, as I'm going to go back up the inside of turn 4 as I find the inside apex. Can I try and pull it off this time, pick up the traction on the exit, which I have done, and now we have got past Verstappen. So a great little battle there for a couple of corners, and Max putting up a great fight. Okay, early on so far, initial impressions are that Rosberg has not got the pace that Hamilton's got, as Hamilton's really streaking away up front. However, we are all over the back of Ricciardo as I lock up the left front. I was going to go into the back of him, but I'm going to get a much better exit through the corner actually. I've had a great momentum through there, just pulling for a little bit of a switchback. Now, can I pull this off around the outside? This would be ballsy if I can. I'm going to try and go for it here. Ricciardo's just keeping his nose, and he actually runs off a little bit wide on the left-hand side, which allows me to go up the inside and take P3 from him. And we're now on the back of Nico Rosberg, so making solid progress, only 3 laps into this Grand Prix. Here we go then, a great run through the penultimate corner, and this looks like this could be a possible move on Rosberg for P2. He's going very slowly, he really is struggling for pace. I'm actually going to get past him before the final corner, so we should be able to put on the brakes fairly easily. And there you go, Rosberg doesn't even challenge us, so a nice easy move up into P2. But let's just wait and see what happens down this pit straight, because now Rosberg is going to have my slipstream, and will he try and maybe pull off a move back on me here? I was at the fast lap of the Grand Prix, which goes to show what sort of pace I've got, and Rosberg, it looks like he's nowhere near me, so we've actually got a massive cushion over him, and we can now try and hunt down our new rival Lewis Hamilton, and also a championship rival. So things are heating up now in the championship. Right, here we go then. I'm going to prepare to come into the pit lane for intermediate. So it looks like everyone's going to come into the pit lane this lap. I think I should have come in last lap. I did feel like it. I came so close, but eventually I decided against it as my dog starts to bark outside. I do apologise for that, but I'm looking for the pit entry limiter here. I'm not sure where it is, but there we go. We eventually come in, and we've got quite a few cars. It's going to be a very busy pit lane here, so if we don't get stacked up or lose any time, then that'll be a pretty good pit stop phase. But as you can see, going to the inters, we've actually been, look at this, we've lost time to the Red Bull. So 3.8 because of the Red Bull. We've lost time to Hamilton, so not great there, but we're on to the intermediates now, and we need to try and push and catch Lewis Hamilton, because he is our rival, and I think the battle between me and him is going to get very fierce this race, so that is a target right there ahead of us. Oh, Valtteri Bottas is out of the race, and we've got the remaining cars and full wets coming in for their switch onto inters. Meanwhile, that little phase there has actually gained us a little bit of time on Hamilton, because he lost a bit of time behind Alonso, and now we've got a virtual safety car, so obviously that Bottas for time must have triggered that, but we're very close to Lewis Hamilton at the moment. He's going very slowly indeed here, so this has gained us a lot of time. Here we go, through the final corner. I've had a great run and also some great traction. And here we go, then we're going to pick up the slipstream on Lewis Hamilton. We're going to try and go for a dive into turn 1 here, side by side, into the first corner. I'm going to try and be nice and light on the brakes, hold the inside line. Lewis is still on my outside, but we go side by side through the first corner. And then Lewis has actually still got his nose up the inside, so I've got to give him the room there, make sure I don't spin him out. And we just get so close there, banging almost tyres, but we're just about going to pick up the traction, I think, on the inside. Hamilton's going to go for the outside line, and I think he's made it work. Yes, he has. Incredible traction and acceleration from that Mercedes. I'm going to go up the inside, but there's no room through, and Hamilton just holds on for the lead of the race. Once again, into the final corner, running a little bit deep on purpose to try and pick up the traction on the exit and just have more speed down the straight. And here we go, exact same carbon copy of the last lap. And here we go, fastest lap of the race, and we're going to pick up the slipstream on Hamilton and breeze past him in a straight line. We're just going to try and hold the inside, make sure he doesn't come back at us. And we're just going to hold the inside through turn 1. There we go. And it looks like now we are into the lead of the race, and it looks like Hamilton's going to settle for second, at least for the time being. And we're now basically waiting for the dry conditions to appear. I'm absolutely flying at the moment. Obviously the track conditions are helping out, and the lap times are dropping very quickly here at Sepang, but we're just waiting for that phase where we can pit in for dry tyres, and I think I'm going to try and go for a medium soft. So that's going to be the strategy I think I'm going to go for. It all depends when I pit, because if I pit a little bit earlier than I expect, then I have to just go into a hard tyre instead of a medium. But overall, strategies are looking interesting at the moment. Okay, so Hamilton pits. I'm going to presume he's coming in for a set of dry tyres, as will most people on the track. I'm going to stick it out for one more lap on inters, because I still feel like there's some pace left in these, and the track's just a little bit too wet. So we're going to stick it out for one more lap. Okay, now I think it's time for dry tyres. The rain has completely disappeared off my screen. The track's got that sort of damp texture to it, so I think now is the right time to come in for the dryers. So we're just going to slow it all down here, make sure we get it all slowed down. There we go, absolutely perfect. Now, I did actually set the fastest middle sector that lap, so I'm not sure how things are going to pan out. We just have to wait and see. Will we get held up by Verstappen? I don't think we will. No, we don't. So we actually come out ahead of Verstappen and not lose any time. Straight onto the hard tyres, and then we will run the soft tyres later on in the race. Now, a 2.1 stop, that's pretty damn good. Now, that's a question of where is Lewis Hamilton, because we've got to get out of the pit lane on this slippery part of the track. And as you can see, the back end just not working for me, but I think we're comfortably in P1. So Hamilton has had a shocking outlap, and the track feels very slippy at the moment. So I feel like the AI have come in for intermediates again, and I'm the only one who's gone to dries. And I think I might have got the strategy call a little bit wrong, but we're going to hang out on these tyres nonetheless, because the tyres will come to me eventually, and I won't have to do an extra pit stop like that AI will. So a sort of a strategy blunder there, but not too bad. Here we go, Hamilton's going to my outside. I'm going to have to go to the wet stuff, and I've got no grip compared to these two. And Rosberg's trying to make a move as well, and Verstappen's just lurking in the background now. I've got zero grip on these at the moment, but I'm going to be patient. I'm going to hang it out, because there is a dry line, as you can see. It's just a question of waiting for the perfect opportunity. I know it will come to me. I might lose a bit of time, but as long as we stay within a pit stops gap to the Mercedes, then we should rejoin back in first place. Meanwhile, here comes Verstappen. He's going to pull to the inside. And I'm not even going to try and fight him, to be honest. I'll just let him have that, because he's got more grip than me. Even though, actually, the grip on the hards wasn't too bad through there. But Verstappen still got plenty more grip in those inters, on those fresh inters, may I add. So we'll just leave them to it. I'm pretty sure, like I said, they'll come back to us. We've just got to try and play the patient game. All it took was one lap, but I already feel that the grip is coming back to me. Look at the speed difference I got on Verstappen. DRS just got enabled, and I'm just going to slide up the inside of Verstappen here. And there we go. We've got the grip on the dry tyres now. So, like I said, it's just a question of being patient, but we have got it. And we've also got DRS as well, so Verstappen's not getting past us anytime soon. I'm expecting to see both of the Mercedes peel off into the pit lane right now. So let's see what happens as they both go side by side into the final corner. And it's Hamilton who bows into the pit lane, and Rosberg stays out one more lap on intermediate. So we should inherit the race lead fairly easily here. And basically, we're in a entire pit stops gap ahead of anybody else on track as we set the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. So how about that for a strategy call and a half? Here we go, we're just going to pick up the traction here, and there should be an easy move on Nico Rosberg. Just go around the outside onto the wet stuff, which is a little bit risky, but we are going to get it. And there we go, around the outside of Rosberg, and we're now properly into the lead of the race. Now, I've just realised people like Verstappen have gone on to hards, whereas both of the Mercedes are on mediums. Now, Verstappen could potentially go to the end. I don't think I'm going to be able to. I'm going to have to do a pit stop at some point. So Verstappen could be a challenge here, because I'll strap on a set of softs at the end, and I'll be really, really quick anyway. But Verstappen could be a problem for us. If his pace is good in those hards, then once we pit, he could be ahead of us. So we've got our work cut out here, and the race might not be over just yet. Oh, shit. Wow, that was close. The slippy curb there. I just got real on the grass on the entry, and then that put me onto the wet stuff on the AstroTurf, and that could have ended in tears, but that's going to hurt me a couple of seconds. Right, here we go then, into the pit lane for the final time this race. I could have maybe stayed out on the end on those hards, but I'd rather have a little bit of fun. And anyway, I think I just took a little bit too much out of them when I went on them so early, because obviously in those sort of too wet conditions, I was spinning the wheels up like mad, so I actually hurt my rears quite a bit. So we're just going to come in for a fresh set of soft tyres, play it safe, and also we've got a nice bit of rich mix to burn off as well. So we're just going to set in some purple lap times and have a little bit of fun here, because Hamilton is on mediums, we probably will have to pit anyway. So I think this is going to be quite an exciting end to the race here, and hopefully we can try and maybe win the race. That'd be quite nice to say we started P7. So as you can see, I think Rosberg's just coming by now. Yes, he does. So there he goes. So we've got to get past two Mercedes and Verstappen, and Rosberg runs in really deep there. So some sort of problem for the Mercedes already. So maybe possible brake problems here, because Sepang is a very tricky track for the brakes. So Rosberg having issues there possibly, but we're up into P3 now. We can now chase after Max Verstappen. Oh, safety car. That's come out of nowhere. I wonder what that's come out for, but either way, we've got a safety car here. So incredible scenes at Sepang. I've got to slow down here to make sure that Delta catches up. There we go. But do I pit? That's going to be an interesting call. Should I pit for another set of soft tyres? Right, here we go. I'm going to try and cheat the system like a safety car and speed up past the Delta, because we're coming into the pit lane, so it should make a difference. And here we go. Then we're going to try and push this pit entry, make sure we get absolutely perfect, and we're going to hopefully have a quick stop. There's not going to be a fresh set of soft tyres, but it will be a scrub set. But we should rejoin, in theory, in first place, because Verstappen pit last lap. So yeah, there should be a fairly simple pit stop. Even if we do come out in second, we should be quite aggressive on these tyres, so hopefully we can try and make this work. Now, I've just realised, now I said to myself, I'm in first place, so something's happened to Verstappen and I can't figure out what, but either way, there we go, we've rejoined in first place, and we've got a fresher set of soft tyres on the car. There's Lewis just behind us, so right now we've got a safety car, so there should be a fairly easy race win, and we should be able to take this to the checkered flag without any further issues. Okay, so safety car's coming in this lap. I'm just backing up the pack here. I think I'm going to launch as soon as we go through halfway down the straight, but I'm just holding up the pack, and we've got rich mix until the end of the race, and we've got some fresh soft tyres on the car, so we should be able to make the job here against Hamilton and make it work. So we're just going to get ready for the restart and wait for the green flag, and then we will get underway. So hopefully it doesn't take much longer, and I think I'm going to start speeding up right about now, so I'm just going to floor it and see what happens. So I'm down to a limiter, unfortunately, so now we can go, and off we go. So a pretty okay restart. I wish we had a bit more control over it, but nevertheless, here we go through the final corner. Just got to have a good exit, make sure we build a gap between myself and Hamilton, and I think we've done that. So now I think we're good into the end of the race, so we just got to try and bring the car home. And here we go then, through the final corner for the final time. It's been an absolutely incredible performance here at Malaysia from myself this Sunday afternoon, and we're going to come home for a whopping 25 points and another win this season, and yet another win in the Scuderia, and we're going to extend our championship lead, and what a result that was. And I think we've got 5 more races after this, so we're starting to get towards the real sharp end of the season now, and we're getting closer and closer to that World Drivers' Championship. Now, I can tell you, I did mention at Spa that I'm going to a different team for season 2. Now, if I do win the championship, I'm going to tell you now, I want a real challenge for season 2, but you'll see the team choices a little bit further down the line. I'll make a team choice video right before the last race in Abu Dhabi, supposing I don't get any team offers from now until then, and that'll be the time when you guys get to pick what team I drive for season 2. So I'll put a few teams, I'll put every single team up for availability in the straw poll, with the exception of a couple of teams, because there's a few that I don't want to drive as, and for various reasons, which I will explain in the video later on. But overall, focusing back on the task in hand, a massive 25 points here, and we've got to win the championship first. So as you can see, champagne time here at Malaysia, and the second Ferrari win in Malaysia in 2 years on the trot, so it seems to be a bit of a Ferrari track, this one, but overall, a nice 25 points there, and Lewis actually finished in 3rd place in the end, so Verstappen beating him for P2, so that's quite good for us, because that's going to get us a couple of extra points in the Drivers' Championship. And as you can see, looking at the final race results, it's a fairly standard top 10, with the only disappointing result being Daniel Ricciardo down in P9 there. But overall, the sort of top 10 you would expect, especially Haas getting a good result in P6 and P7. But looking at the drivers' standings after that race, we're 47 points clear of Lewis Hamilton with about 5 races to go, so things are looking really, really good in the World Drivers' Championship. And I just want to point out the fact that Sebastian Vettel is still ahead of Kimi Raikkonen in the Drivers' Championship, and he hasn't driven for like 5 races, so it goes to show how much Vettel was so much better than Raikkonen in the first half of the season. But finally, looking at the constructors, you can see that we're 14 points behind Mercedes, so we're still slacking in the constructors department, but you know, I think it's going to come. I think if we keep these results up and Kimi gets his act together, I think we can beat Mercedes. So things are looking really tasty for the final couple of races for the season. But nevertheless, guys, we're going to move into the final part of the video now and round things off for the Malaysian Grand Prix. So there we have it then. That was an absolutely incredible race. Literally one of my favourite races on this game. Almost a 5-star race. Just such a good Grand Prix, and so much fun to do. And as you can see, we're drawing in the rivalry already with Lewis Hamilton, and he's going to be a very tough rival to beat, because he is my rival in career mode and also for the World Drivers' Championship. As you can see, we also restore our status to a number 1, or a perfect 10 should I say, driver. But overall, that has been this race, guys, for the Malaysian Grand Prix, and hopefully you did enjoy it. I'm going to try and upload a bit more frequently. I've got a very special video coming soon, so keep your eyes peeled for that. I've been teasing it on Twitter, and it will be coming very soon. It's the start of a new series. You guys may know already what it is, but overall, if you did enjoy this video, then I would appreciate a like. Let's see if we can try and maybe smash 100 likes. And if you're new around here, please be sure to subscribe to my channel. And yeah, guys, that's about it for this video, and I'll see you on my next one very soon. So thanks for watching, and goodbye.